Hopefully, I'm live, to be fair, because these days sometimes YouTube. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's good. Yeah, anyways, I'm just going to continue working on my comic book page, and if you have any questions, just let me know. I'm just going to be showing my process. Hmm, let's see. There are two characters by his side, so one is holding some sort of briefcase. That's the reference I was looking for. I have to account for the perspective whilst I'm working. Uh, I'm telling you, like even after the thumbnail, we still have to like make some adjustments because the thumbnail is like the initial ideation process, and like I keep reiterating, you you know you just have to be quick about like the thumbnails when you're working on it, so that your initial idea, you try not to get stuck, right? And just like overthinking when you're working. That first idea you have, you just try and work with it when you're working on your initial thumbnails. When you get to, still have to keep adjusting this stuff. I have to bring the big guns. I'm going to make her fold her arms. Should I? I think this pose is too simple. I think the pose is too simple. Let me make. I'm going to make it like this. Yep, I think that's better. I think that's a lot better. Yeah, yeah, that has more personality. Um, all right, let me put her clothes. And that's helpful. Yeah, believe me, comic books, making comics is not for the weak. Like this page I'm working on, like I've said in like other pages, it's just going to take someone like 5 seconds to just get uninterested. And that's why you have to sort of do it for yourself a lot of the time. I think I like that length a lot better. I think, yeah, that's better. I mean, no one is not a tiny person. Yeah, I like that. Yeah, so the sketch is done. Now I have to do the monster. So I have to go back to my reference. Come on, where's the reference? How many nails does it have? One, two, three, four. Two, three, four. That's good. The monster is kind of slumped. It's kind of slumped. Um, my anatomy knowledge is like helping me really well here. Like with this pose, because thankfully I can take it any direction that I want, even though I might not get it first time. All right, so this is nice. You just have to use like simple lines and simple like shapes to just get the pose that you want. And try not to constrain yourself by thinking about so much detail. Just think in simple shapes and you'll be done with the pose in no time. What the hell is the reference? I wouldn't do for anybody. This is my monster reference. Right, so this is like the character design I did for the monster. I did a character design for the monster a while ago. It was just a quick sketch, but like this was sort of like the references I was using for the monster. I just got some references from Pinterest and I used that to um like get the front side and back view of the monster. And yeah, I just have to go back and forth with it sometimes. So just something as simple as this, and we have the shape we're looking for. You can always use grid lines as well. Grid lines are also very useful. Um, it will help you like stay on the same line when you're walking. Right, so how do I do this? How is it looking above you? Or do I make the wings kind of like capes? All right. Another thing I have to get right is these pods behind them. Wow, just one like crazy. Yo, please, if you're just showing up, please just give the video a like. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much. I think this would be a good reference. Just use silhouettes. Mhm. I might need to reduce this a bit so that I can think to be smart too. I have to be smart about this stuff. I'll put it around here. It's a stocky robotic structure. I don't want to create tangents. These two ones are broken. The first two are broken. I think I'll cut it. We make this red. Come on, man. What is it? Hello, Shaki. How you doing? Welcome to the stream. It's going good. It's going good. Um, I hope your day is going well. Thanks for joining, and thanks for commenting too. Um, I've been live for like 23 minutes. I'm just trying to finish up my comic book page. I just decided to do an earlier stream. Um, yeah, just chill, just working on my comic. I swear, sometimes Clip Studio Paint's colors just piss me off a lot. Like Procreate colors, like it's just a lot better. I'm sorry. Like, anyways, I'm just drawing some machines. There's supposed to be some machines in the background. Um, some contraptions that are holding like some of the creatures that this character is going to release. And this character over here is going to stop it. This is the bad guy. This guy over here. The pressure gets you, you know we play for keeps. I'm gonna go away. Looking good. Thank you so much, Shaki. Thank you. Mm, 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 Thank you so much. Mm. Yeah, just little by little. Comics is making comics takes a while. Yeah, it's serious work. It takes its time. You can't rush it. Walking 10 toes. Anxiety. Let the pressure get you. Yeah, it's definitely worth it. Tell us the pitch for your comic. That's a good question. The comic is essentially about a scientist that developed a cure for his sister's ailments, and he ended up working on like a crew of top scientists, and they developed a cure for not just her ailments, but like a lot of illnesses. But eventually, they ended up creating like a virus that caused a pandemic and ended up um, ending the lives of millions of people. And yeah, so the thing is that they created it, but they were trying, they like, when you're creating something and then you stumble on it by mistake. Yeah. So, like through experiments, it was reverse engineered, and what he created got used for evil. And he's trying to find the people that did this and bring them to justice. And it's taking a while. So that's just the general gist of it. So there are several organizations behind the whole terrorist attacks and things like that. So not the most articulate and eloquent pitch, but that is all I got. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, so kind of like COVID actually. Kind of like COVID. So yeah, that's what happened. And the scientist is pissed off about it. And this in this world there are like mutants, people that are born with natural abilities, but like the natural abilities, they have to go to through some sort of like, what's the word, transcendence. Yeah, kind of like with inhumans, right? They develop high fevers, and most of them die during the process of acquiring the abilities. So most people are trying to weaponize that ability. So you know how there will be a sort of like auction. There will be like auctions where they're going to sell like really expensive and valuable artworks, and you know things that are they're really expensive, right? And there will be people that are actually in that auction, right? And there will be like $10 million for this, $20 million for this, right? So this sort of like a presentation that is showing what they've developed, uh, and he is against it because it's kind of like they've used his source code to create evil, and he's not having any of it. Wait, like stand in JJBA? What's that? Um, I don't understand. What's stand? What's JJBA? When did you decide? When I decided I wanted to make comics, I actually decided I wanted to make comics when I was like 13 years old. Um, Initially, it was animation I was interested in, but like comics was the most accessible option. And I always like, I was always undecided between animation and comics, but uh, I had the patience for comics. Animation takes a long time to finish, so I focused on comics. There was a time I actually was interested in music, but then after like doing it for a couple of years, I decided not to continue, and I decided to focus on where my strength is, which is in art. And yeah, I've been working on comics ever since. Well, at least my own personal project. I have done comics for like people. Um, yeah, yeah. Thanks for watching it. I appreciate that. Oh, JoJo's Bizarre Adventure. Oh, oh, yeah. No, it's not like that. It's not like that. It's more like let me explain it. I'll use an illustration to explain it. right? So this is a human being, right? The way it works, and a human being could live for 80 years, right? And the thing is that this human being, just like with X-Men, right? They have the X gene. Um, this hype human, for instance, has the ability sometime within their life. So from between the ages of 1 to 80, they could undergo um hype, what I call hype transcendence. It's just a made up word. What they like, they go through hype transcendence, right? Between 1 and 80. Yeah, let's say they could live 80 years and they could undergo hype transcendence at age 80, right? Or they could undergo hype transcendence at age 1. Yeah. And the thing is that based on how your age, right, you can undergo hype transcendence too early at age 1, like, or before puberty, and your body might not be able to handle it and you might die. And you might undergo hype transcendence too late in your life and you might die early, right? So you might undergo it, like, let's say when you are in your late 70s or 60s or 50s even. And because of the pressure, because you go through what I call hype fever, so you become extremely sick because your body is transforming like a caterpillar. Yeah, your body is transforming like a caterpillar that is on a tree. Your body is transforming um, you into like a butterfly eventually. And let me draw a butterfly properly. Yeah, this is a butterfly. Your body is transforming into a butterfly. Yeah, not necessarily. All right. So your body is transforming, and you know that takes a lot of energy. That takes a lot of energy and a lot of like chemical reaction in your body. Um, yeah. So eventually, like if you go undergo it too early or too old, too young or too old, you might die. So now there are people that are trying to fix this problem, right? And it's leading to the creation of monsters. And these monsters are being used as weapons, right? So that's the entire gist of it. I hope that was explained. Like, I hope you got the gist. But that's essentially what's happening. Or part of the things that's happening. I just is opinions on generative AI. Um, how would I put it now? I don't have how would I put it? Like, I'm just an observer at the moment. Yeah, I'm just an observer. I can't like make an educated like opinion on AI at the moment because um first of all, uh I don't I don't know enough about it to make criticism on it. I just draw, but I don't know there are people that like do AI art, right? But to be fair, how would I put it now? I don't really care. I just believe that as long as you develop your skill as an artist, um, you will eventually you will never be replaced, right? You will never replace. That's sort of like how I believe it. Because when digital art came, a lot of traditional artists looked at digital artists and they said that, and now I'm not comparing this to AI art, right? Of course, but a lot of people were saying that digital art is not real art. Like, why are you drawing on a phone? Why are you drawing on a tablet? Right? But the thing is that a lot of these traditional artists, it's the skill of actually understanding fundamentals. Yeah, the skill of actually understanding fundamentals that actually made them artists, right? Because they have experience and they have the skill of creation and observation. That's what make them artists, and they have the skill to execute and create something from nothing, right? And that skill in itself, irregardless of whether it's done traditionally or digitally, like the skill exists regardless of the medium. So this is the same way I look at AI art, right? AI art might be used to reduce like redundant work as artists, but it won't change the fact that the work still needs to be done as an artist. You still need to learn skills. If people are looking at AI art and think that it's going to eliminate the work that it takes, right, to obtain this as an artist, then they are looking at it from a wrong point of view. AI art, just like a lot of technology that has been invented across the history of um, human existence, has been done to promote convenience, and that is what AI is going to do. Um, and the cream will always rise to the top. That's the way I see it. So, you know, focus on improving your art and you will get work. And that's just how it is. That's my opinion on generative AI. Yeah, anyways, yo, I've missed some chats. Sorry about that. Hello, Grey Ghost. How you doing? Alive during the day? Looks like pigs fly. I just decided to try it out. I wanted to see if I could go live twice a day. I want to just try it out and see what's up. Um, I don't know if it's sustainable, but I'm just trying it out. You know. How you doing, Grey Ghost? Hope you had a lovely night's rest. So when they transform to butterfly, do they get powers? Yeah, those that are able to survive the transformation do get powers. Um, those that are able to transform, they do get powers, but um, there are a lot of people that don't survive because the transformation process from human um, to, let's see, let me just use butterfly as the symbol, right? The transformation from human to butterfly is extremely difficult, and most people survive it, but then they are unable to handle the powers that they have, and then they end up dead. And most people can't survive the process and they end up dead. So some people undergo it too young and too old. And of course, there are people that are working to try to solve this, because if you are able to obtain a hype human, that is sort of like the invention of like the nuclear weapon, right? Because a hype human has a lot of abilities. They have a myriad list of abilities, and that's the gist. So as time goes on, the story will be refined, but it hasn't been properly introduced and integrated into the story. So yeah, those are some good points. Thank you. I appreciate that. And that's a very nice question as well. Yeah, I like questions like that. So usually, I know like AI is quite controversial in like the arts among artists, right? It's very controversial. So usually, the thing I think is that most people are just going with the crowd. Um, like the way I see technology is that you have to be patient with technology. Of course, take action, and those who usually take action are usually um, the ones that are sort of like the thought leaders in that area. But regardless, do your own research and make your own opinions. It's very important. Spent the night and morning reading. It's exam week. Really? Yo, that must suck. Sorry. Sorry about that. Yo, that must be boring. Anyways, wish you good luck with the exams. Wish you good luck with the exams. So you haven't slept since like that time that you left the stream? Whew. Mhm. Yeah, I'm going to leave this like that. All right, let me start inking this scene. See how long it took just to get the sketch right. Come on, man. Ah, God, man, I piss myself up off so much sometimes. Oh my God, I'm so pissed off. Did I join two layers together? Whew, I think I did. Yo, I joined two layers together. Oh my God. That's one of the most annoying mistakes ever. I think corporations are what's making those making those in the creative spaces hate AI, and some select few people. Yes, I haven't slept. No biggie, not my first rodeo. Oh, so you're like an OG in this department. You're like an OG. There's another friend of mine on this live. She has according to her, she has insomnia as well. She hardly sleeps. Yeah, but that's true. Like the thing about it is that with every technology is that every technology that comes out, there's always some sort of friction between the people that create the technology, the people that are marketing the technology, and the people that will use the technology. That is just how it is. Like even when electricity was invented, right? A lot of people were saying that there are witches in the light or in the electric currents that are going to possess people or like cause evil to happen to them. So there is always something, there's always some, I'm not necessarily saying, there's not always some level of truth to the warnings that most people have about any new technology because, of course, corporations, the reason for their existence a lot of the time is to make profit. So, and a lot of the time, the care for the human well being is secondary. But irregardless, you have to look at every technology that comes out as an opportunity and as a way for your life to be better. So you just have to be patient and just see where it takes us. Of course, I'm not advocating for passivity, but like, you know, most times you don't know what you don't know. Yeah. And a lot of the technology that has come into existence, even though there are those that have caused pain, chaos, and destruction, there's also a lot of good. And we have to trust that we have more good humans in the world than bad humans. So that's sort of how I see it. And like I said, it's very vital that we make our own opinions. We get educated and decide the path we want to choose. Finally, I'm inking. I swear, man, the penciling just knows how to stress a person out. And go back to her clothes and see what I'm working with. Phew. But I also agree that there are people who feel unnecessary hate. Um, wait, there are people who I feel unnecessarily hate AI. There's a particular community on Reddit that I have a serious issue with because of this. Yeah, that's the like same thing I say. That's the thing with technology. There are people who will be vehemently against it, like who will like get the pitchforks out against the corporations that are promoting it. Uh, it's just about choice. Those people have the choice to not use it, and of course, I'm not saying don't advocate for things like that they believe in, but still, at the end of the day, it's still a choice. You have a choice not to use it. Yeah, so you can always choose to separate yourself from civilization and go and live in the woods, like if you are not for technology. But the thing about technology, even especially every 18 months, is that technology always improves and it will keep, improving. Yeah. Yeah. It's a popular thing to do to hate AI. Like that's a popular thing to do, and a lot of people just use that to get whatever sort of relevance um, that they are lacking in their life, use it to compensate for something. And it's not just with AI, it's with a lot of things. It's with a lot of like relationship talks, it's with like education, it's with um, everything, everything, every single sphere and industry in human existence. Um, which chapter is this, by the way? Oh, this is chapter 7. This chapter 7, you can see it here. It's chapter 7. I hate that I'm still on chapter 7, by the way. I wish I was on chapter 10. But what can you do? Yeah. So what happens when you're working on a when you're the only one drawing the series? And that is why I have to cut as many corners as possible in terms of like the art. I don't go as detailed as I would like to, and I don't color it. All good things take time. Yes, that is a good advice. That's a good advice. It's just a skill issue at the end of the day. Yeah, it's just a skill issue. If I can find a way to actually make profit from the creations, like the artwork, I would dedicate more time to it. The thing is that I have a day job, and a lot of the time can't, I have to actually dedicate a significant amount of my day doing that work. And that takes away from, making the comics. And at the same time I have to like create content because that is very vital to my own education as an artist. And the more you get better, the more you can improve, and the faster and more efficient you will be as a creator. So that's my dream, rather. Like, I could sit down for hours, like 6, 7 hours, as long as I have, well, YouTube sometimes at my side. I can sit down for a very long time and just work on my comic. But most of the time, the thing about creating comics is that it has to do with momentum a lot of the time. Um, it has to do with momentum. And if I'm working on this and I'm in the zone and my timer just rings, I have to get back to work. The work that actually pays the bills. This is you not being detailed. I'm wondering how it would be when you're being detailed. What is your day job, if I'm allowed to ask? Yeah, my day job is still art. Like I said, um, and no, I'm not being detailed. Like, if I were being detailed, I would like spend a lot more time on this. I'm not being detailed. Yeah, my day job is I do art like as well. I do art for other people. I'm under contract with a company to create works of art, and like they give me directions on what they want, and I execute, and that takes a lot of time. Like creating the artworks, it takes a lot of time. 6, 7. I thought that gone out of fashion. That was really prevalent. Like people saying 6, 7 for like I think for 3 months. 3 months. Is it still active? It's all good. I did say 6, 7 as well. Yeah, but either ways, that's my day job, and I do try to be disciplined about it because how like I'm usually being paid with regards to how much work I can complete and how efficient I am. If you're able to finish your work faster, you get paid faster. And so that's just how it is. And I want to be able to do like lives and interact with new people every day. If I'm not able to pay my bills. So operation cost. I think that's the word. Operating cost. Yeah. My friend and I had a discussion about this yesterday. Do I ever do I ever get tired of art when you're doing it all the time? Not really, because this is what I've always wanted to do in my life. That's why they say there's a saying I heard that like if you're going to pick a profession, you have to be willing to be dedicated to it for at least 20 years, and that's the only way you're going to get to a high level in that industry. You dedicate 20 years minimum in that industry and you focus on it. And when you focus on it like that, you discover that you can't really do the unfortunate thing actually is that you can't really do every single thing that you want to do in your lifetime. And that's the unfortunate thing because if you actually want to do the things that you want to do and you want to do them well, it's going to take a lot of time for you to actually accomplish them. And that is the sad reality of human mortality and existence. How you doing, Irene? What's good? Yeah, I'm really early. Yeah, I just decided to try out going live in the daytime. You know, how you doing, Irene? What's good? Yo, sleep. It's been a while. Have you forgotten your iconic entrance? Yeah, I should. Yeah. Yo, by the way, Grey Ghost, this was the person I was talking about. Her name is literally Sleep. Yeah, she has like insomnia. So between you and her, I don't know who has the more what do they call it? Who can stay awake longer? I guess that's the word to put it simply. Who can stay awake longer? Whenever I get tired of art, by the way, shaky. Whenever I get tired of art, I go and watch movies. And when I'm watching movies, all I can think about is art. Because one day I actually want to make my own movie. So, or like turn this comic book into a movie at least. Yeah, so there's that. So it's usually always on my mind. And that's all I talk about. Um, because that's where I want to get good, you know. Where is that lady? Oh, there she is. Mm. Oh, sometimes I got a feeling. I'm doing good, bro. What about you? I'm doing fantastic. I'm doing fantastic. Thank you. I'm chilling, just chilling, just chilling. Bro, I was just gonna sleep. You're early. Yeah, yeah. I'm trying to. I want to try like doing like 2 streams a day. I want to try it for like a week and see how it goes. Yeah. I might be consistent, I might not be, but I just want to see how it goes. That's a contest I would never like to have. Yeah. You think hunger is bad? I need to try sleep deprivation. Like it's terrible as well. It's terrible. The funny thing is like if you've ever like forced yourself to not eat for a very long time, probably 48 hours, or even 72 hours thereabouts, you figure out that apart from just being extremely light, you'd find it difficult to sleep because your body will force you to be awake because it needs to eat. That's one thing I noticed. Anyways, I love when a film adaptation is actually accurate. Yeah, like, but the way I look at it most of the time, because most times I'm really very pissed whenever um the film isn't like a comic book or like the original novel. But the way I began to look at it is that like instead of just getting pissed off, I just look at it as enjoying a different medium. Uh, because a lot of the time you're going to like new people are going to be working on it, and I'm not talking about like guys that actually stray away from like the original material completely, right? They probably change the plot or something like that. I'm not talking that type of drastic change. I'm just talking about maybe they tweak something in the story that ends up becoming very refreshing. Yeah, becoming a very refreshing take on the story. Or when guys go too overboard, yeah, I'm not a fan of that at all. Um, like the boys, for instance, the boys TV series. I like the take they did with the the show, right? I prefer it to the comics. The comics is yeah, the comics is crazy. And I have to wake up early tomorrow. Two streams. Two streams a day. Yo, go to bed, sleep. I keep telling you. Maybe it's because I'm not into making content. But what's the goal behind streams? Oh, yeah, I'll tell you the goal behind stream. Um, my goal behind streaming is number one, to get confident at public speaking and improve my communication. Number two is to get closer to the people that are actually giving me the time of day to watch any of my content. So that might be my videos, long form videos. That might be the YouTube shorts that I make, and you know, any single post that I make. Yeah, I living in isolation is not very good because I'm always isolated at home. Yeah, I never go out. I am so lonely. Has anyone seen that conquest speech? Exactly. I wish I could do the speech right now, but I don't remember it. Anyways, you just need to connect with people basically, and that could help with business. You know, I might actually meet someone here that might give me a business opportunity and change my life, or I may, make a friend for life. I've made a lot of friends on live streams. So, and despite how slow it is, it's actually improving my subscriber count. Like going live for whatever reason, and I don't know how, because um I don't think lives like you're able to get more subscribers with lives than with normal videos and shorts. But for whatever reason, I have been increasing my subscriber count with lives. So yeah, these are all the reasons why I'm doing it. It's kind of like marketing and branding. You know, at the end of the day, whether anyone likes it or not, the fact that they're existing means that they have a brand. And if you are a creative or you're someone that wants to create something, one of the ways to actually get your creation out there is either you have a boatload of money, yeah, you have a pot of gold or something like that, or you market yourself by yourself. If you don't have the money to pay like big branding agencies and advertising um, service businesses to put your work out in the limelight, you kind of have to do it yourself, and that's going to take a lot of manual labor and dedication and time. uh, Building personal brand takes a lot of time. So, and that is what I'm doing. That's the gist. There's a lot of things like you can learn from life. Um I also share what I learn, and if someone has a question, they can ask me, and I have the opportunity and privilege to teach. And teaching, believe it or not, it makes me a better artist. Living in isolation is not very good. It's not. It's not. But it has its perks. It has its advantages. Come on, move that elbow well. That's better. Yay! Another thing to be anxious about. My brand. Yeah, you don't have to be anxious about it. You know, you just have to be you just have to be patient with yourself about it. It takes time, like real organic growth. The thing about it is that, like, I hear this a lot, and it's actually true. The thing about it is that people look at most people's dedication, they look at most people's successes, and they are a bit discouraged about their own growth process. But they are looking at the person in his life when he's at like level 20 in his life, whilst you are still at level 0.00005. So there's no reason to compare your level with theirs, right? You get there eventually. You just have to be patient and keep being consistent. And that is how I think about it. So someone might be young, but the person might have the experience of 20 years. Yeah. And you're like, how is he so young and successful? Or how is she so young and successful? Well, plus I can't lie, luck does play a factor. Um, Shaki said the lives made me subscribe. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Thank you. I am honored. Good night. Yeah, good night. Sleep. Good night. Do you think you would ever go into animation? Not as a craft, but more as like an overseer. Uh, because animation takes a lot of time, and the only way I would go into animation is number one, if I'm making enough. Like, you go into animation as like a craft, as like I can create animations, right? Is if number one, I'm being paid a boatload of money to do it, and number two, if I have enough money to the point where I can then begin focusing on animation, because animation is a beast on its own and it takes a lot of time, not just to execute but to learn as well. Because I did try learning animation, and well, I didn't get to the point where I was like good, but I then left it and decided to continue, my art, like comic books. And I decided to become a master at um, making comics, which I am not yet a master at. So whenever I become a master at comic books, I might pivot. And the only thing that can make me get into animation again is if I have enough money to hire people to make animations of the stories that I tell. So yeah, these are the reasons. But I love animation. I can't lie. I love it. I just don't love it enough to do it at the moment. So one thing has to be sacrificed for another. That's the same thing I was talking about, sacrifices. And like, you might have a lot of things you want to do in your life. And if you really want to do them well, you might have to sacrifice something. And to be really good at something, like even to be like the top 10% or 1%, even if that's the goal, you have to spend a lot of time doing it. And by time, that could mean 10 years, that could mean 20 years, that could mean 30 years, and success in that thing could um, also mean that as well. So first is doing it, and then doing it with enough volume, and then achieving success whilst doing it. And then you can begin generalizing. 0.0005 is generous. Exactly. That is true. Sleep gets it. That is true. That is generous. So life is hard, especially if you're born into an average family in an average country. And someone like me who's born into like below average country, yeah, it's 10 times hard. But there is still no excuses. Yeah. There is no reward for suffering. Well, for suffering, like who suffered the most? What's my favorite music? Someone has asked me this question before. Who did? I think it's Beyond the Stars. Um, I just call them stars. My favorite music. Ooh, do you mean genre or like a particular artist? Because I actually have like a particular artist that I listen to, and it changes with time. To be honest, it changes with time. Um, but my playlist is very wide. Like all of a sudden, last week, just last weekend, yeah, when I went to visit my friends, and I was watching a TikTok. There was a TikTok of some choir boys, and they were singing, and their voice sounded so angelic. And I wanted to, know what the music that they were listening to or like they were singing was. And I figured out the music, and it seems there's a whole genre around that music. It's like Catholic kind of music where they are singing in Latin and stuff. Even though I don't understand what they're saying, their voices sound beautiful, and so I'm listening to it. Yeah, this is coming from someone that listens to rap and listens to EDM, listens to all this. Most days, I even listen to freaking this Brazilian funk. Is that what they call it? So yeah, the taste is very, very varied. Very varied. But I guess it's possible to. Isn't there a way to detect the kind of music someone listens to? Like I listen to Afrobeats a lot as well. Um, yeah, so there's a lot of music I listen to actually, a lot. One I do have a comfort music, which is usually rap, either rap or like there's this TV series Empire. I always go back to that to their playlist after a couple of months. Yeah, had to plug my iPad. Watching you draw makes me want to get Procreate and try drawing again. Well, I have to go. Sorry, I couldn't stay till the end. Bye, John. Yeah. First of all, do try and get Procreate and try out drawing. Yeah, I'll be very happy about that. Yeah, if you have any questions, you can always ask me. If you're confused about anything, you can always ask me. I try to go live every day, so but do try to get into drawing. If it's something you want. Uh, but usually that's the thing about excellence. You see someone doing something and they are relatively skilled at it, and it makes you want to do that thing. I feel the same way about footballers. Every single time I watch football. So yeah. But anyway, good luck with your exam. Yeah. Thanks for joining again. Hope you have a nice day. A lovely rest of the day and week too. Yeah. I feel like a lot of people are similar. Yes, a lot of people are similar. That's the with their music. Oh, I mean, yeah, that's fair. That's true. I mean, depends on the region. Like, if I were to meet a Norwegian, the Norwegian probably wouldn't know anything about Afro music, or they might know, but they might not be into it. Yeah. So it depends. It depends. So, like the location, like people you meet on a regular, they might be people from like around the same region as you. Or if you were to like look outside of that um, area, you might figure out that like people actually have different tastes because they are different type of music. Yeah, speaking of like types of music, I actually liked I listened to K-pop for a while as well. I listened to K-pop for a while. I listened to I don't know what to call it. Is it Norwegian war music? I don't know. But the guy was probably speaking Icelandic language, and it was like sort of like a song for war. I don't know, but I just found the music nice. It's scary music, but it sounds good to me. So I listen to a lot of stuff. As long as it's appealing to my ear at the moment, I listen to it. Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, exactly. That's true. They enjoy different genres, right? Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right. You're making progress slowly but surely. Hmm. Forgot I took pictures of this. Yo, it's past an hour. I'll have to go very soon. Um, just wanted to test this out, and I'll show later in the night. I'll try and show up probably around like 8 or 9 p.m. my time, and I'll see. I hope I don't feel lazy about it, because most days, because I've already accomplished the live, I might be feeling a bit lazy not to continue. So hopefully I don't feel that way. I'd love to try Procreate, but it's not available for Samsung. Yeah, it's not, bro. It's not. It's actually available on just iPad Pro. But I believe there are alternatives on Samsung. Are there not? There should be alternatives. These days, every single like mobile phone is trying to make everything as mobile as possible, like video editing, even like recording music. Something as complex as recording music, they're trying to make it mobile. So definitely there should be something for drawing on Samsung. There should definitely be an app that you can start using, even though it may not be the most comfortable. Come on, man. Where did I keep this? Yes, there it is. There it is. I use Ibix Paint currently. Yeah, I heard Ibix Paint is good. I heard Ibix Paint is good, but I've never used it myself. I've never used it myself. The only softwares I've used were for drawing are Photoshop, Clip Studio Paint, Procreate, and I've used, what's the name of that other one? There was one I downloaded recently. I don't remember the name, but I've used it. My friend introduced it to me. I downloaded it on my laptop. I don't remember the name for some reason. It's probably because I didn't use it for long. Yeah, I haven't used a lot of drawing softwares, but those are the ones I've used, and they have been functioning well. So usually see no need to like change, because I do have a lot of fun with them, especially Procreate. But there are a lot of drawing softwares out there, so there should definitely be something that you can use to work on. You have no idea how they draw on PC while still making it look good. They use drawing tablets. That's how they draw on PC. They use drawing tablets. Like I do know that when I started, I was using like mouse, and it wasn't comfortable at all. I was just using pen tool in Photoshop to make drawings, portraits of people. Well, the quality actually improved when I got a pen. Even though it took a while for me to get better with using, what do they call it? Like to get used to the pen pressure, like on the drawing tablet itself. But it was still way better than just using mouse. So he looks ridiculous, man. But it's chill. Any recommendation for drawing tablets? Yeah, like the recommendations I would recommend is if you have the money, you can get an iPad Pro. That's the number one recommendations I would give. And then if you don't have money to get an iPad Pro, you can get a um Wacom tablet. You can get a Wacom tablet. Um, let me show you the type I'm talking about. You can get Wacom tablets. Wacom Intuos. Yeah, you can get something like this. This is what I used to start learning. This one. Let me show you. This was the one I used. Uh, one of the ones I used to learn how to draw digitally. I would connect this to my laptop and I would work. And that was how I learned digital art. Even though I did start with a mouse, but that was how I learned. And eventually, I was able to afford uh, a drawing, like a proper iPad Pro after years of work. Yeah. And then what else? Yeah, I was able to finally get a Wacom One tablet. Not a bad tablet to be fair. Anyways, I'm going to stop the stream here. I want to um I'll try and finish this. I'll try and finish this. Will I? Or I might continue it in the next stream later in the night and properly complete it. I don't know. I have work to do, so I'm going to go and touch some of the work I have to do, and I'll see you guys later. Yeah, I don't know. Did you get the recommendations? Those were That's my recommendation based on the tablets I've used. Um, Based on the tablets I've used. Hopefully, you're able to afford any of them. I'll do some research. Things. You're welcome. You're welcome. Anytime. You don't need to go overboard. Like, you can just start with whatever, like, based on your budget, and just start just to get familiar with digital art. Like, just get your hands strong. But my number one recommendation would be an iPad Pro. It's convenient. You can take it anywhere. It's fast. Yeah. You don't need to plug it to an external laptop. Anyway, guys, I'll see you guys later in the night. Thank you guys for joining. All six of you. I appreciate it. Yeah. And I'll see you guys in the next stream. Bye bye.